My blood's boiling right now. Uh, Remember I took that job with them young bucks, the boss man, his stepson. Uh, Cute little feller. Rambunctious as most boys are. Uh, just as cool could be. He'd come up on the job because he'd have his old lady bring the money and pay us in cash. Even though that didn't work out and shit, it ain't no big deal. Ain't the first time, won't be the last time. I made my money. I'm happy with it. Well, that's neither here nor there. This sweet little boy, 3 years old or so. You know how they are with animals. They'll, not knowing no better, they'll pick a cat up by its neck and shit, and they got to learn. It takes, for a while for them to learn. Well, him and birthing parent of this beautiful young boy, they had several dogs. One of them big old Rottweiler. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing or anything, but you can't be mean to them big dogs or any dog before they'll bite you. Well, as most kids do, he'd hit it, kick it, poke it with a stick, different things, you know, and he's repeatedly told, stay away from that dog, don't do that to that dog, and dog's very gentle, passive. Well, a couple of weeks ago, stepdad's at work, birthing parent there, let this beautiful little boy go out in the yard with this Rottweiler, knowing what little boys do. Uh, well, I started messing with the dog. Of course, she didn't care, didn't pay no attention. I guess she's looking out the window because she's inside, whoring herself out on the internet. I don't know, seeking male validation. I don't know exactly how, but she was talking to various men that's not her husband and stuff, and not being outside watching this beautiful little boy. And apparently the story is I wasn't there, but hit the dog a few times with a stick and jumped up on its back like a horse and started choking it, and the dog latched out and pretty much took the boy's face in its mouth. Uh, Dog, I don't think meant to do this, but a dog don't know, and ripped the beautiful boy's face from the skull down past its lip through its chin. Had the boy in its mouth, which he could easily, if it wanted to, killed him and crushed his skull. But it was quit doing that to me type thing, the way I read it. Because if it wasn't a quit doing that type thing to me and a warning, he'd crushed the little boy's head, and the mama heard screams and went outside, and dog put this beautiful boy down. Had to be flown to a children's hospital close to here. I ain't gonna say the name of it. And got stitches all down the side of his face and everything, and that side of his face is permanently paralyzed because this birthing parent is, instead of being a mother, being a birthing parent and a whore behind the husband's back that, wants her to stay at home but allows her to be on social media to raise the kid and take care of the home. Uh, he works, 60, 70 hours a week making money, and then he works at the house doing stuff, and he generally gets, he might get 5 hours a day sleep. He's young, and tried to tell him when I was working for him, you're going to burn out fast. He said, oh, well, if I do, I do. And I was like, well, when you do, it's too late. But that's the bravado of youth. And I asked, if he killed the dog, and he was working, of course. I should know that. And game warden took the dog and killed it, which the dog had to die. Cause after something like that, an animal can't live, even if it's not its fault. And it wasn't its fault. It's that whore's fault. And I feel so bad for that little boy. He's so sweet, uh, fun loving, like I said, rambunctious. But what young boy ain't rambunctious? That's to be a young boy. Um, when the bitch would come and bring her money and stuff, generally had him because no babysitter or anything like that, and generally had someone I've known all of her life and her son, and they'd come up and they'd hug me and they'd do their best to say my name and talk to me and blah 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 blah, and always made me happy. Even though I didn't know him that good and wasn't around him, he's just like I've known him all my life, or he's known me all his life. He's just that way, and now he's one side of his face is paralyzed, and I'm really hoping that his eye don't die because of that, because it's not far from his eye where that dog had him in his mouth. And any of y'all that believe in the Almighty, say a prayer for this young man, this young boy. Good Lord knows his name and know who you talking about, so you don't need to know his name. But he's going to be shunned in school. He's going to be picked on, harassed, bullied, shit on the whole time he's in school. He's going to hate it. And it's all because of this damn whore's need for affection, even though she's married. That's what caused this. I mean, I don't know anybody, male or female, unless they're, just worthless, that would send a 3-year-old child out into a yard with a big pit bull by themselves, knowing after they told them, leave the dog alone, leave the dog alone. It's just this modern horror culture. Good men and brothers, never forget exactly what these modern women are. They're absolute trash and garbage. Uh, don't simp for them. Don't have no pity for them. Leave them to their own fucking devices. That's all I got to say.